The Japanese are rolling out the red carpet Premier Lee to come over and talk about the whole Belt and Road Initiative. You know, I think the Japanese have been discussing with the Keidanren and the Japanese business authorities for the last 6 months to try to pry them away from, let's say, uncertain U.S. partnership to more of an Asia focus. You remember 60% of the world population is in Asia. You know, with the U.S. pulling out of TPP, the Japanese are looking for opportunities and benefits to grow their initiative, especially in places like Central Asia and Africa, where they've historically not been very strong. So I think what they'll try to do is try to build, as you mentioned, some sort of structure where the Japanese can invest and put together some sort of logistics and transportation and partnership where they can work with the Chinese and try to benefit from the growth of infrastructure development in Asia.
So what should we look out for specifically as it relates to perhaps joint projects linked in with the BRI? Are you expecting any new deals to be announced?
I don't think this time you'll see any major deals, but I think, you know, remember the Japanese have their own free and open Indo-Pacific agreement where they've tried to move to high-end infrastructure development in Southeast Asia and India. And I think what they're trying to do is merge their own initiatives with the Chinese. And, you know, the Chinese are funding part of that infrastructure development with their overseas assets. The Japanese are going to try to, you know, you've already heard Japanese companies, trading companies, logistics companies already talk about putting together supply agreements with the initiatives. We've seen some in Hong Kong and Southeast Asia. So, you know, this is a very long-term plan. And so you're not going to see any short-term agreements right off. What you're trying to see is broad alignment, which will ultimately lead to, you know, very long-term development. And I think also what it does is that it helps to reduce the bilateral disagreements that Japanese have had with China over the last couple of years. And so, you know, everything seems to be moving in that direction. I think the Japanese are just trying to, you know, prod it along.
Still watching? Perfect. Click here to watch another great video from CNBC International. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.